guys, welcome to the Garbage Time Podcast. I'm your host, Katie Nolan. I never know where to look when we start this podcast off, so I just look at this paper. I'm joined today by producer Matt.
Good morning, Katie.
Good morning, Matthew. And producer Dave.
Hey, yo, how you doing?
Hey, yo, I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Later in the show, I'll be joined by Craig Carton of WFAN's Boomer and Carton in the Morning. Here's a quick moment from that chat. You have a beef with Mike Francesa?
Listen,
we call it a beef? What do you call it?
It's no secret. He doesn't like me. I don't like him.
Why?
I'm not sure exactly why he doesn't like me, other than Boomer and I. But he wasn't going to why pick a fight with Boomer, pick a fight with me. We replaced Imus, and Imus was his guy. So he, I think, felt in some weird way, for whatever dopey reason, that his guy left, and since I and with Boomer replaced him, we were somehow the bad guy.
If you want to skip ahead and hear the rest of that, it'll be about 25 minutes in. But first, I don't know if you folks at home know this. We have a television show called Garbage Time. Pretty crazy stuff. Sometimes we can't fit everything we want to talk about into the, 21:20?
Yeah.
21 minutes and 20 seconds we get of content for the week. This week, that topic we didn't have room for was Antonio Cromartie expecting child's number 11 and 12.
Oh, yeah.
Twinsies. Post-vasectomy.
Yeah, you boy.
So in the office, we had a lively debate about the ways in which this could happen. Now, first up, the first one that was brought to the table, first argument was the kids aren't his. Now, I don't know anything about their relationship, so I won't make such accusations. What I think, I don't even know how to get into this without making it gross. So what we did was we Googled what a vasectomy is exactly, because we all have a vague understanding, but vagueness wasn't going to help us in this situation. No. We needed to sleuth this shit out.
Just don't Google this. If you're listening, do not Google
Katie
it.
did it for you, so she will explain.
No, I'm not going to explain because of the look on producer Matt's face when I explained it yesterday was that he just wanted to jump off the side of our building.
Yeah.
Because I was reading all the possible ways in which you could get vasectomized. Also, my favorite part that we learned was what the plural for vas deferens is, which I believe was vax deferentia, which is
strong word.
Vox deferentia, something like that.
Very formal name.
That's our third sports network. We've got FS1, FS2, and Fox deferentia.
Oh, yeah.
But so, I described in detail aloud, reading from the internet, all the different ways. And Matt wanted to die. So basically, there was the snipping. Sometimes there's a snipping and a cauterization. So then producer Garrett and I tried to think of all the ways in which Antonio Cromartie's super sperm could possibly make it into another person.
It's more out, I think.
Yep.
Right?
How can it make it out?
Right.
You're right. That's the less graphic way.
And
then also make it all the way to, because there are times when spermies don't make it all the way to the eggs.
That's right.
Accurate medical
these
information.
Sperm are really talented athletically.
Obviously.
They must have crushed at the sperm combine. I don't know. So anyway, I picture, and I if there's any doctors listening, which of course there are, let me know if you agree with my theory. I said it's like that scene in most movies. There's lots of movies, but I believe Road Trip, it definitely happened in. When there's a car that needs to cross a bridge, but the bridge is down, and so they back the car up, and then they launch it across the abyss. That is how I picture Antonio Cromartie's sperm getting from wherever it originates to the outside of his body. That's my theory.
Yeah. I just can't see that this is how. I just can't see that the vasectomy wouldn't work. I guess I would say I have a vas deferens of opinion.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
I spent a day working on that.
It was worth it.
One full day on that pun.
24 whole hours.
Yeah.
What was the other argument? So there was another.
Well, see, Garrett's argument was very much based in you'd have to see what he was doing to understand it. So the audio listeners would not understand when I say that Garrett said the sperms would go. Doesn't make a lot of sense.
Take a picture.
But picture like a balloon and something
the
inside trying to
sound.
squeeze itself out of the balloon. It was gross. The whole thing is gross. I just feel like we're only seeing the tip of the iceberg of this story. There's no way we
Just the
don't
tip.
dive deeper into Antonio Cromartie's sperm sometime within the next few weeks. I mean, we've got some downtime before the Super Bowl that I imagine we're going to spend that week before leading up to
Yeah.
it talking about how you conceive not just one child, but fucking twins after a vasectomy.
It's skills.
It's just, at this point, if there is a God, he just wants Antonio Cromartie to have all the kids.
Yeah.
That man was meant to have every child.
And a reality show on TLC.
And a reality show on TLC. I was wondering what he's going to name the two kids, although not that it will matter, because he won't remember. He should name them like Twin 1, Twin 2, because those will be easy to remember.
those for sure.
Can't forget those.
Miracle 1 and Miracle 2.
Miracle.
Producer Matt yesterday said, yeah, I don't understand. I mean, they're clearly Antonio's kids, but strangely, his wife is insisting on naming them Brandon and Marshall, so that's weird. All right, divisional playoff time. We should talk some football, so let's fight some picks.
Fade that pick. These picks are being made by someone with absolutely zero gambling expertise, so if you choose to bet actual money on these picks, you're stupid and don't care about money because these picks are all probably going to be wrong. So definitely fade these picks.
All right, here's how this works. If you don't know this by now, that's kind of crazy, but my producers are going to give me some info on this weekend's games. I'm going to make my picks, but I encourage you to take the opposite of my picks, known as fading them, because I'm just winging it. Last week, big week, if you faded these fucking picks, because I went 0-4,
Oh, yeah.
which
Ooh,
obviously
shutout.
included my lock of the week, Steelers -3 versus Cincy. Which, I got the
Close.
winners right for
Yeah,
most of
yeah.
them. It's just that
That's the worst.
that darn spread.
Oy.
Yeah, it was the worst for the Steelers-Vikings game because I would have preferred the Vikings to win.
Thank you.
Right.
The only thing that wouldn't have worked out for me is if the Seahawks won but didn't cover. That's exactly what happened,
Yeah.
and I'm annoyed by it. Anyway, my fade that pick record, Dave, is
15, 22, and 1, and you are 3-7 on your locks of the week. So to be clear, if you've actually been fading Katie's picks, you've actually been winning money.
Yeah.
for you audio
70%.
listeners. That's the sound of me making it rain.
Yeah.
All right, we're doing all 4 of the weekend's playoff matchups. Not too crazy with storylines, but we'll figure something out. Let's get started with the first one.
Chiefs at Patriots. Patriots -5.
Okay, Matt, this is very exciting for me.
Oh, yeah.
Give me some stats.
Patriots, Katie. I have a few stats. First of all, for the gamblers out there, home teams are 12-4 in the last 4 years in this round. So that's an average of 3-1. Maybe pick your one road team. But as for this game, Chiefs have won 11 in a row. We all know that.
Yeah.
The Pats, only 2-4 in their last 6, which is kind of interesting. Also, just a quick third stat here.
No, don't do it.
Janelle Monáe, also from Kansas City.
I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
I should have.
R&B legend,
knew
Janelle
you were gonna
Monáe.
do that.
Yeah. We got a bunch of tweets from @KellyBuyCoffee. I wanted to give her a shout out. She gave us a whole list of Kansas City residents.
Thanks, Kelly.
Yeah.
I appreciate
My
it.
girl, Kelly.
Yeah.
Kansas City's kind of mad at me because last night on the show I called that Texans Chiefs game boring. My bad.
Wow.
My bad.
Super hot take.
My
Yeah.
bad? Question mark. It was 30-0, I believe.
It was
Yeah.
over after the first
Oh my
kickoff.
goodness, that
Super-
was so bad.
super
and,
boring.
Dare you.
and maybe I'm just frustrated because did I pick the Chiefs? No, I picked the Texans.
You did.
Oof.
So maybe I was sorry I took it out on you, Kansas City,
Yeah.
and Janelle Monáe personally. I apologize.
Big Chiefs fan.
Yeah. Dave, what do you got?
We have to talk about Tom Brady's diet.
Oh, yes.
Because I mean, I know you have a lot of takes on this.
So many takes.
For those of you who don't know, their personal chef, Tom and Giselle's personal chef, did an interview with Boston.com discussing their eating habits. Kate, I mean, I got to hear how you feel about it, Kate.
Okay, so here's the deal.
Okay.
Tom Brady doesn't eat tomatoes, potatoes, eggplants, peppers, which are part of a group of botanical
Sorry.
whatevers.
I'm going to laugh this entire time. I apologize in advance.
This is very serious. It's part of a food group or like a botanical group called nightshades.
That's not a thing.
Didn't know that was. I thought those were Corey Hart's sunglasses.
I thought it was a David Bowie album.
I thought it was the like NYPD Blue nightshades. Like I thought that was that new cop show with J-Lo in it. I didn't know that nightshades were a thing. If you told me that tomatoes, potatoes, peppers,
man.
and eggplants, what do they all have in common? I wouldn't be able. I didn't know they were part of the same anything. It doesn't.
unreal.
I had no idea. And not only does he know that, he knows that he shouldn't eat them. And why? Because they're not anti-inflammatory.
Oh my God.
I don't know if that means they're inflammatory.
No, it
Because
doesn't.
I don't think that's a thing.
It doesn't.
They're not anti-inflammatory, therefore, ergo, vis-a-vis, Tom Brady and his family don't eat them. Tom Brady's kids sometimes eat fruit, but Tom himself does not indulge in fruit. This is like when I go on diets, like in college when I needed to lose weight because I gained the freshman 30. And I needed to lose weight, and I was like, look at me, I'm so proud of myself. Instead of a burger, I got a salad, and people would go, oh, you got romaine? It's really not a good lettuce. Every lettuce is a good lettuce because it's lettuce. Like, if we're getting so specific with a diet that you should eat fruits and vegetables, but fruits are actually not too good for you, this Tom Brady indulges sometimes by putting a banana in his smoothie.
Ooh.
What else is in your fucking smoothie? It's not a smoothie if there's no fruit in it, is my take.
Do you understand that he said he's never had coffee in his life?
Ever.
That's nuts.
That doesn't make sense to me because that is more telling than any of the other things. If Tom Brady doesn't drink coffee now, I get it. You are a world-class athlete and you need to be at the top of your game. But 12-year-old Tom Brady isn't like, guys, someday I'm going to be an NFL quarterback.
Right.
And so I need to be efficient and I'm not going to take a sip of that. There's no way you know that, and that's just insane to me.
Or college? Or was he ever tired one day and was
No.
like,
Never.
wow, I wonder if I could have coffee once.
Tom Brady
see if it
doesn't
worked.
sleep.
Yeah. I also
Yeah.
loved no olive oil, only coconut oil, and
Yeah. Oh, no, but raw olive oil. They don't
Oh.
cook in olive oil
right.
because it turns the oils into saturated fat. I hate that I read this whole article thrice.
and
3 times.
only Himalayan pink salt
Yep.
as a sodium.
Well, that's just, only plebeians use table salt. So I've been using Himalayan rock salt now for years.
And no fungus or dairy, obviously. It's
Fungus is I'm fine with. I'm not going to tease him for no fungus because when you say that out loud, it's not like no nightshades where everybody just
Right.
giggles. No fungus. We probably shouldn't be eating fungus. Mushrooms are cool, but if someone were to say, hey, by the way, shock of the century, eating fungus all this time was probably bad for us. I'm not losing
fair.
any sleep over
It's
that.
fair.
I think I've had all of these things in the last 24 hours. is that bad?
No, that's
Plus
good.
90 Bud
Yeah,
Lights?
you
is that
need
bad?
to lay off the nightshades.
If tomatoes are bad,
I love tomatoes
What's good?
trickle in every now and then, as if it's
as
a
if the
piece
tomato
of cake.
grows
oh.
legs and walks into their diet. Oops, I'm sorry, Tom. Is that a grape tomato
great.
there? I apologize. But then he said when he cheats,
Mm-hmm.
I hate that I just said that and then thought of a joke.
Oh.
Is that when he takes the air out of the footballs?
He cheats on Sundays. When he cheats, he's like, oh, my indulgences are ice cream. Wait, what? You just took a hard
Not
left
coffee
turn.
Wait a
flavored.
minute.
You won't let a piece of fruit sneak in, but when you're gonna cheat, it's a bowl of ice cream? I don't know, man.
He goes for it in all aspects of life.
The caffeine stuff is telling. He grew up in I think Tom Brady might be a little weird.
Oh,
Yeah.
maybe. Hey, it works for him.
Just a little weird. We can't blame it all on him, though. He definitely, Giselle also needs to be eating.
Right.
But in the article, they were like, what's some of the favorite things you've been cooking for the family? It's like, we're really into quinoa footballs. I have
Oh my God.
I have no idea what that is.
Worst party food ever.
Quinoa footballs. And millet.
I've had
Sorry,
that. Yeah.
what's that?
Millet.
It's like a
Is that the
grain.
hair-
I
hairstyle?
thought that was Malay.
Ooh.
Because I don't know what that is. And it's spelled like a Malayo fish. And so,
Wait.
Millet is one
Millet.
of those things that comes in your Blue Apron order. It's like, this week you're going to be cooking with millet. And you're like, okay, I don't know what this is.
millet.
It's like when you have short hair in the front and then long hair in the back. Is
Yeah,
that a millet?
that too.
Okay.
Yep.
Millet with fire.
Okay.
I am not into millet. I'm anti-millet.
Oh, man.
Still don't have a take. Don't know what it is.
It's like quinoa. It's a different version of quinoa.
Is this a nightshade or a day shade?
It's a day glasses.
I'm going. I'm going to bed. Please shut the nightshades. Please close the tomatoes.
Okay, I guess we should make it.
All right, let's do it.
Well, now that we have all that football analysis, I
Millet.
feel prepared.
How do you feel about the quinoa footballs?
I do not feel good about them.
Okay.
And if someone brought them to my Pat's Chiefs viewing party, I would be disturbed.
I didn't get my invite to that viewing party.
Yeah, well, everyone's invited now. I'm not maciding an event out of this game. The Pats are going to win by 100.
That's your
There's
pick?
my pick. Pats by 100.
Cool, that's the spread.
Yeah, I think Kansas City legend Kate Spade's going to be unhappy with my pick. She makes great bags, but I'm going with Pats -5.
I don't want to piss off Kansas City fans any more than I already have, like Jason Sudeikis.
Yeah, Jason Sudeikis.
Good job,
Crushed that.
Good job by you.
Yeah.
So yeah, Pats -5.
Fade that pick.
Cool, that was fun. Next game.
Packers at Cardinals. Cardinals -7.
Are we going to talk about Aaron Rodgers' diet, or did we want to talk about football?
I have a feeling he eats pretty normally. That's what I think.
Maybe. He
Yeah.
could. Eddie Lacy sure does. Matt, can I have some stats, please,
Well,
sir?
I don't really think I can speak after that. That was a great joke.
Thank you.
Arizona, one of the most respected teams in the league. They're only 1-5 against their spread in their last 6 at home, but their one cover, of course, was a 38-8 blowout against Green Bay.
Oh, is that? Look at
Wow.
that. That's the
Oh,
team they're
shit.
playing now.
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
Bringing it back around.
Yeah.
Carson Palmer's playoff record, career playoff record is 0-2. First game was in 2005 against Pittsburgh, injured on the first pass he threw out for the
No.
game.
Yeah.
Second game,
Chemo
2009,
Von Ohlhoffen.
against the Jets when he lost, threw for 146 yards and a touchdown. Yet he's favored by Aaron Rodgers and the Pack by 7 here. Do you think that experience will matter? Lack of experience? No.
Game is a game. It doesn't really. I don't think he goes out there and is like, well, 7 years ago on this same stage. He's in a different place in his life. You know where I was 7 years ago?
Where?
Let's do the math. Wait, can you do the math? It's a number thing.
It was 2009.
I just graduated from college.
Okay.
I moved to New York City and I worked at an Equinox fitness clubs.
Ah.
Sounds like a
I
great
don't
job to
like
have.
go out into the world now and go, oh man, last time I was at this Equinox. Because I don't go to Equinox now. So maybe my life's a little different than Carson Palmer's, but like I don't think it makes a difference.
All right.
He's going to go out there and play that football game. It's going to help that the Packers don't look great.
Last week, they finally looked good. And everyone was like, oh, this is the Packers team that everyone thought would happen all year. But maybe it was just that they were playing a shitty NFC East team. Sorry,
Whoa!
producer Matt.
Oh,
All right.
So
9
we will
points.
find out.
wow.
Yeah.
People are high on the Cardinals right now. They're favored to win the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, I mean, everyone is loving them, which is interesting.
Okay, Matt, what's your pick?
I'm going to go with Arizona. I think the extra week will help them. I did think the Packers looked better last week, but unless they can keep running the ball, I don't think that they can keep that offense off the field.
All right, Dave, what do you got?
I'm going to take Packers +7. I actually thought, I believe in what they put together last week, and Fat Eddie Lacy scored a touchdown, and if he can get it going, I think that'll be big for them.
You think Eddie Lacy will be big for them?
I think it'll be huge for them.
Exactly.
I think he'll be obese for
He'll be
them.
bulging for them. This is a tough one. I'm in a pickle.
Also a
think
nightshade.
The Cardinals. I think the Cardinals
Eddie
will
Lacy
win,
would
but I
beat.
don't think it'll be by 7. So I'm gonna go Packers +7.
Fade that pick.
Why did I do that? Why did I do that? Okay,
Oh, God.
let's get to our next game.
Seahawks at Panthers. Panthers -2.5.
All right, Matt, what do we got for some stats? Oh, that's an interesting line.
Yeah, this is probably the game of the week, right? I would say this is probably the most compelling matchup. These two teams are both really hot. Carolina 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 at home, but Seattle 4-2 against the spread their last 6 on the road. So these two teams are really good.
Lots of numbers. But, all
They're
right, so
both, they're both good. That's the summary.
But
they're
this
both
line,
really
good.
good.
it still does not make sense to me that this line is 2.5. The Panthers go 15-1. They've the MVP of the league, a quarterback. They top scoring offense of the league. They average 31.3 points per game, and they're favored by less than a field goal to the Seahawks team that just looked awful last week.
Okay,
How is it only
Vikings
2.5?
fan.
They already beat
Breathe.
Seattle. this
Breathe it
season.
out.
Right.
Breathe, Vikings fan.
I'm breathing,
You're
but the
upset.
line makes no sense.
The line, I think, is based in who's Devin Funchess. No one's going to give, like, there's no, people aren't afraid of the Panthers. I'm not saying they shouldn't be, but they aren't. They haven't gotten the respect all year, and they haven't shut up about how they haven't gotten the respect all year. I'm okay with this line. The Seahawks really didn't look very good last week in in an uncomfortable way.
Right.
Like Russell Wilson did not look good last week. If that starts to happen again this week, Pete Carroll, let me give you some advice. Have something go wrong, because that's when Russell Wilson's really good. So
Apparently.
just snap it over his head, where other people will go, ooh, and fall on the ball. Russell Wilson's like, got it. People are open. I'm going to hit him. And he like that's
That was crazy.
what needs to
Unreal.
happen.
Such a good
They
play.
just, like,
The
when
only
shit goes wrong,
play
you
they
want
made all
Russell
week.
Wilson as your quarterback.
Yeah.
And it's hard for me to say that. But that's impressive. But then other than when things go normally, it was so weird. I think maybe he was just like really cold.
Yeah.
They were all really cold.
what that
but
could have been.
Still not an excuse.
Yeah, it was strange. So, yeah, game of the week, but I don't really care to say more words about it. So, Matt, what do you got?
I'm confidently going with Carolina here. This is big. I can't believe this is a big thing, but Ted Ginn, Jonathan Stewart, both expected back.
Ooh,
think
Ted
Carolina-
Ginn for the
think-
win.
Carolina already beat Seattle. I feel like they have a good chance in this one.
Same here. Panthers -2.5 all day. What do you think, Katie?
I don't know. I should make these picks before I sit in the chair. Every week I'm like, oh, fuck.
No, I like that you come to a conclusion on the spot.
I know. I don't know. I think the Panthers are going to win. What I would like them to not win, but I think that I'm going to go Panthers -2.5.
Fade that pick.
All right.
God, I'm so emotionally attached to these picks. Next game.
Steelers at Broncos. Broncos -6.5.
Matthew, can I have some stats?
Favorite stat, guys. Peyton Manning 0-5 in playoff games under 40 degrees. Forecast
Wow.
says 33 degrees at
Oh,
kickoff.
shit. Uh-oh, Peyton.
Uh-oh, Peyton.
Peyton.
Peyton. You know who's not 0-5 in playoff games under 40 degrees?
Who's that, Katie?
Brog Lobster.
That's right.
Oh,
They should have
Lobsters.
boy.
They should have let
They
the
like
lobster.
cold water.
They sure do. That's why
That's
they
right.
come from Maine.
That's what I hear. Beer, beer, beer.
Dave, what do you got? Wait, was that the
You
rap
have the
alarm?
best air horn I've ever
Wait,
heard.
you mean the rap alarm?
the rep alarm. Obviously, story here, Steelers could be out with their starting quarterback, starting running back, and all-pro receiver.
I don't need those things to win a football game.
Roethlisberger, I mean, he'll probably play unless he's dead, but he has a separated shoulder and torn ligaments in his throwing shoulder. Seems like that should
coming
matter.
back into the game this past weekend was like
Insane.
everybody in the bar I was in, their jaw was like, what? He's coming back? That was wild.
right.
And he could
wild.
only throw for 3 yards.
Wild.
Why didn't they
I don't know.
It's nuts.
Is Larvis Jandry, what the fuck is this guy's name?
Jarvis
is
Landry,
he that
but
bad?
let's call him Larvis. That's a cool
Let's
nickname.
definitely call him
Larvis.
Larvis.
Jandry.
Yeah.
Larvis Nightshade.
Jeeves, Jeeves Laundry.
That's good.
That shall be your name. Sorry, Dave. Keep going.
No, I mean, D'Angelo Williams probably not going to play. He's in a walking boot, and Antonio Brown is in concussion protocol still after the Vontaze Burfict hit. So it's going to be tough for them. But to me, it just feels like this feels easy for Denver with all those things. Like, how bad does Peyton Manning going to have to be for them to lose this game?
About as bad as he's been.
Yeah, seriously.
All right, how many picks will Peyton have to throw before they bring in Brock? Seriously,
2.
you think so? What, after the
It's
second
just
one?
that was my gut reaction to what
I
he said.
actually, that was what I was saying too. I think 2 picks. If the 2 picks happen in the first quarter, I'm like, all right, you gotta
Yeah.
bring Brock.
Yeah. It's an interesting line on this game. I guess that's because the Steelers have nobody.
Yeah, it's definitely due to the injuries. So
That stadium, though, that Mile High Stadium, wild shit happens in that stadium. I saw
true.
Tom Brady rush for a touchdown in that stadium. So weird things.
well, when you eat
Happen.
like Tom Brady does, you cut out
That's
those
right.
nightshades, you can rush pretty far.
Is that an inflammatory statement against Tom Brady?
It was anti-inflammatory.
Can you do your rap alarm again?
Ba, 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 ba.
That was not
No,
a
wait,
good
let me try it
one.
again.
That was like
Ba, ba,
a
ba, ba. No, I don't got it.
give it one more try.
Ba, 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 ba.
That was it. I was right down the fairway. You drilled that one.
Oh my God. Okay. That's it, right? We should make picks.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, Matt, what are you gonna pick?
Steelers. Steelers, I like them to cover. I don't think I like them to win, but I think this will be a close game. I don't think there'll be a ton of points here.
Okay.
All right,
David?
I'm going to take Broncos -6.5 here. I really think their defense will be able to stop this battered offense.
All right, I think although the Steelers coaching staff will make a valiant effort to step in and control the outcome of this game, I am going to go with Broncos minus 6.5.
Fade that pick.
All right, it's time for my lock of the week. As usual, I didn't write it down, so I'm going to say the Patriots. What was the line on that game?
5.
5.
Patriots minus 5.
Definitely fade that pick.
Shit, wait, my lock of the weeks have been wrong. That's okay, we don't have to cover, we just have to win. A win is a win.
Cool.
All right, guys, we have a new sponsor. Did you know
Yes.
that?
Cool.
Did everybody know? O'Toole, did you know we have a new sponsor? The National Academy of Sports Medicine is looking for people who want an exciting career in the fitness industry where you wake up every day doing something you love. NASM trainers are improving people's lives by helping them reach their health and fitness goals, and the demand for these trainers is huge. Imagine waking up every day excited to get to work, not to a job, but to a rewarding career, getting paid to stay in shape while helping others reach their fitness goals. You set your own hours, work in health clubs, sports clinics, and corporate wellness, and you'll love who you work with. Do what you truly enjoy and get paid for it. There's no better time than now to get started on your certification with the National Academy of Sports Medicine. Plus, NASM guarantees you'll land a job as a personal trainer within 60 days of earning your CPT certification or your money back guaranteed. Go to myusatrainer.com for a free 14-day free trial of their fast and fun online program. That's myusatrainer.com. Restrictions apply. Visit myusatrainer.com for details. Pretty sweet.
Yeah, man.
Guaranteed a job.
I love it.
That doesn't happen often, so maybe think about it. Okay, earlier this week I sat down with Craig Carton, affectionately known as Craigie in this office, of WFAN's Boomer and Carton in the Morning. We talked about a whole bunch of shit. It's an inside joke, guys. Don't worry about it. We talked about his beef with Mike Francesa, how he walked across Brooklyn Bridge in a speedo. I mean, who hasn't?
Yeah.
And how he ran a casino out of his parents' living room when he was 11 years old. That's just entrepreneurial. Take a listen. Craig Carton, thanks for being here to do the podcast.
Yeah. Happy to be here.
We just filmed a segment for the television show. That's why the set looks like this, in case anyone cares. Spoiler alert, nobody cares. But you came here you did your show 6 a.m. to 10 a.m.
I did.
And now you're here. What time do you wake up every morning?
I get up at 3.
That's
every morning.
disgusting.
Yeah, it's killing me for sure. Taking years off my very precious life, but it is what it is, and how could you ever complain about it?
Well,
Get paid
I
to
would-
talk about sports and other stuff and not work for a living?
They can pay you to talk about sports and wake up at a regular time.
They could, but then, I'd have to get a second job to afford rent.
Yeah, I
You
guess
know.
so. It's not that good?
No, it's great.
Okay. Why 3 a.m.? Like, what time do you go to bed then?
So if I get 3 hours straight, it's a
Yeah.
lot. I have 4 kids, and it's mayhem in my house.
4 kids?
yeah.
How old?
From 15 down to 4.
Wow.
Yeah, it's nonstop.
Your life sounds awful.
It's nonstop. No, it's great. But it's, Daddy, let's play dodgeball again on rollerblades while holding hockey sticks and had football helmets on, and you're it. Boom. All right.
That's
I thought I was getting a nap there, but apparently not.
well. I guess at the end you got a nap because
I
you got
did.
smacked in the face with a ball. What's your schedule like every day then? So you do 6 to 10.
So I'm up at 3. I'm at
Yeah,
work
oh,
by
yeah.
4.
Yep.
I do the show
Ugh.
6 to 10, and then it depends what's going on in the world for me outside of radio.
You come do garbage time with
I came
Katie
here,
Nolan,
thrilled to be here.
having the best time of your life.
100%. So you did our show.
Yeah.
So I'm a firm believer that you should always repay that favor, and
Yeah.
why wouldn't I come to your show?
That's really nice of you. We were hoping for Boomer, but we'll take you.
Listen, a lot of people are hoping for Boomer when I show up. Where's the other guy? Where's the 6'4" blonde quarterback? It's not here.
We like you. You're
I'm
more
more
our
fun,
style.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Boomer's such a nice guy,
Good guy.
but you're the fun, crazy one.
Yeah,
You grew up in New York, obviously
I did.
listening, I imagine, to New York radio.
I did.
Who were you listening to that made you want to do this with your life?
I didn't know I wanted to do this with my life. I knew what I didn't want to do. I couldn't wear a jacket and tie. I couldn't sit in a cubicle. I couldn't get on the same train and kind of be like sheep, every single day. And I've always been a bit of a dreamer. So I just couldn't sit still.
Yeah.
So then the question was, well, how do you make a living and pay your bills, knowing what you're not going to do? And I got really lucky. I did some radio in college. If I didn't do this, I'd be a waiter or a chef or work, I think, the restaurant business. And I made a couple tapes in college. I got very, very lucky with my first job in Buffalo. And then, like anyone else, along the way, you just have the right person's got to hear you on the right day and think you're good at it and be willing to give you a chance. So I've never said that I'm any better than anybody else. I'm very lucky that the right people heard me when they heard me. And the audience has, for whatever reason, reacted well to the stuff I say in a lot of markets.
That's good. That's how it works. And you got a good voice.
I think my voice sucks. Like I don't have like your "Hi, how you doing?" radio voice.
Yeah, but you got like a little bit of
scratchy,
raspy, but it doesn't sound like it hurts you to talk. Like
No.
it's a good rasp.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I got notes. I'll give you notes on your voice.
Like
later.
I worked with a guy. I won't say his name because he's still in radio. Who chain smoked. He's like in his 20s. Because I got to Philly, I was 23, and I see this kid. He's around my age, like mid 20s, and he's chain smoking. I go, "What are you doing?" I don't care if you smoke. I don't smoke. And he goes, "I'm trying to make my voice better."
Oh.
And he smoked because he wanted his voice to be deeper. And he's still employed and still makes a bunch of money. But he was willing to sacrifice, like the last 15 years of his life, like, "Hello, how are you? The Washington Redskins have 3rd and 6. Now it's 4th and 2. So that his voice would be better.
Does he have a
He's got a really deep voice, yeah.
That's awful.
But he's going to be 68 years old and talking like that.
Yeah.
So people do a lot of strange things to do this for a living.
That's true.
Right?
You listened to, I imagine, growing up in New York, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. To Mike and the Mad Dog.
Yeah, so I worked at WFAN as an intern for their 1-year anniversary.
Okay.
Which was, what was that, 1988, whatever it was.
Yeah, it's a good year.
And I interned, it was a very good year.
That was my 1-year anniversary as well.
In the world, right? Mm-hmm. And you remember it well.
Yeah,
like
it was my favorite birthday party.
Someone actually took a bottle and fed you with it.
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't you want that today?
I would love that. Like,
awesome.
I request that every birthday, and I still don't get it.
See? And I always thought that, just to go off of this for a second, like, how great would it be if you had someone to push you in a stroller?
That would be the shit.
Like, that is the kids have it. Like, my 4-year-old's like, "Stroller, bitch." I'm like, "All right, fine." He doesn't want to walk 5 miles with daddy.
They should make an Uber like that. Instead of a pedicab where they're in front of you, I want them to push me.
Adult strollers. That's the business.
Write this down.
Right?
This is a good idea.
That's what I would do. So I don't know where we were going with that.
You were
but
at
I
the
listened.
1-year anniversary.
So I interned for a guy named Pete Franklin, who has long since died, and good, because he was a douche, and treated everyone very poorly. And then I went to college, and when I got to college, Mike and the Mad Dog had started. So I listened to them. As a 2-man show in the era that they did it, they were the best at doing it as a team.
Yeah.
I listened to them a lot.
But so now, you have a beef with Mike Francesa?
Listen,
we call it a beef? What do you call it?
Yeah, it's no secret. He doesn't like me. I don't like him.
Why?
And by the way, you don't have to like everyone. Not
I agree
everybody
with
has
that.
to like me.
I completely agree with that.
So we agree that we don't like each other.
Why don't you like each other?
I'm not sure exactly why he doesn't like me, other than Boomer and I. But he wasn't going to. Why pick a fight with Boomer? Pick a fight with me. We replaced Imus, and Imus was his guy. So he, I think, felt in some weird way, for whatever dopey reason, that his guy left, and since I and with Boomer replaced him, we were somehow the bad guy. And he's admitted, and I've written about it, and I've talked about it on the radio, that he didn't like the fact that we were getting a lot of the attention. When we first got there, new show, I mean, you're doing the mornings on the Fan, you're going to get attention, good or bad. And for whatever reason, he just decided that there was never going to be an opportunity for us to have that kumbaya moment. And same with me. He's no more guilty than I am as far as why we don't get along today. But at the very beginning, he and Chris and a lot of the other guys at the radio station went out of their way to try to make sure we weren't successful. They weren't supportive of what we were trying to do. Because what we were doing, we weren't reinventing the wheel, but it was so different from anything else that had been done at the Fan. A couple guys not taking sports all that seriously every single minute of every single day and trying to have fun. So I think it was a bit of a culture shock for everybody to hear our show. And then once we became successful in the ratings, now you're in a weird spot, right?
Yeah. So once he burned that bridge, you weren't going to go out of your way to fix it?
No. And by the way, I poured gasoline on it.
Yeah. You don't don't seem like the type
Yeah, I did.
to pour
For
gasoline
sure.
on it. Well, he's got like a rabid fan base. Do you get a ton of hate from them?
Yeah, I mean, there's a portion of guys that love our show that are going to go after him. There's a portion of guys that love his show that will come after us. But if I worried about the people that were negative or had a bad thing to say about me, I couldn't be in radio because, especially with Twitter. Because when's the last time on Twitter, other than someone passing away, when's the last time on Twitter or someone wanted to sleep with you?
Yeah.
Someone was like, wow, it's a great show today, Katie. You're the best. It just doesn't, like, the nature of Twitter and social media now is, hey, look at me, it's all about my life, and let me tell you how much you suck.
Yeah, it's like Yelp too. You never see someone go to Yelp and be like, this restaurant is good. It's usually like, I had the worst experience of my life. You only ever really say negative things, which kind of leads me to my next question. You've got a lot of strong opinions, and a lot of them make your listeners pretty angry. Do you ever worry about people hating you, or you just don't care
No, I don't care.
at all?
No.
How did
I
you,
don't.
is that a thing you've always felt, or did you develop that trait?
No, I think you have to develop it to a point.
Yeah.
Because who wants to live their life and walk the streets, and anytime you interact with people, people don't like you? I find that with radio specifically, the people that don't like you when you're on the radio. And they don't mind calling in and saying how much you suck, and they'll go on the internet and tell you you stink and things. In 9 years of doing the show in New York, with a lot of people I'm sure don't like me or don't like my opinions, and I'm out and about, I live in the city, I've never once had a single person be an asshole or say anything bad to me.
In person?
Never.
That's interesting.
Most of them hide behind that egg on Twitter.
Yep.
I'm telling you, it has not happened. Now, I've had bad things happen over the course of my career where people do stupid things and say things to you. But, I mean, it's been a long time since someone came up to me in person and was threatening or negative or any of the above. Yet on Twitter and on social media and even our show, they'll come and tell me I suck in theory to my face, but through the radio. So it's an interesting, someone should do a study on that.
Someone should do it.
But not me.
No,
Well, you don't have the
we're
time 'cause
busy.
you guys are
We're
swamped.
super busy.
Yeah.
What's your policy on Twitter? Do you check it like during the show, or do you try to stay away from your mentions?
No, so I used to be on Twitter a lot because I thought it was a necessary evil for the show.
Yeah.
Promote what's coming up next, interact with people that may not be able to call in. It's a good sounding board of, if the average person on Twitter, I thought at the time, you had an opinion about what we were doing that might be representative of what the average listener thought. And I gave up on that, like a year ago.
Yeah.
So I'll check it now and then. I don't post almost at all now, unless it's pictures of food.
That's
Seems
important.
to be a popular one.
It's really important that people know.
I find it interesting when, I'll take a picture, on Thanksgiving. So I was up at 6 in the morning because I was cooking, right? So I made myself a personal pizza at 6 in the morning because I'm going to be up all day
to
cooking.
get you through till the food comes.
I got to do the turkey, the whole bit. So I had the dough, I made a pizza.
Okay.
So I took a picture of the pizza and a bottle of Don Julio, which I was seasoning the turkey with, and a little on the side for me. And I said,
6 a.m.?
Yeah.
Well, for you, that's like noon.
Right. Thanksgiving morning, cooking has started, get the bird in the oven. And 37,000 people viewed that picture.
Whoa.
Now, if I went out and I said something earth-shattering, like a major news story, 19 people would see it and react to it.
It's true.
But the personal pizza somehow resonated with 37,000 people.
I think it was the bottle of Dawn that
It
probably
could have been the bottle for sure, or
that
the way
maybe
I
resonated.
photographed the turkey. I mean, I could show you a picture of it.
I'd love to see it.
All right, let me, while you ask me
While
another
I
question,
ask you the next
I'll find
question.
a picture of the turkey. So just so you know I'm not BSing you.
Yeah, good.
That'd be a weird
I was going to
story to
fact
make
check
up.
it anyway before we run it. We don't run anything without double checking.
I've seen the
first.
show. I was aware of that.
Yeah, I figured. Hey guys, more Craig Carton coming up in a minute, but first, a word from Tax Act.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick, driver of the number 10 Tax Act Chevrolet in the NASCAR Series. On the racetrack, my deal is going fast, working with my team to get our Tax Act Chevy in victory lane. Away from the track, my deal is a little CrossFit and yoga to help with balance and concentration. So what's your deal? If your deal's getting the best deal, then go to taxact.com. File simple federal and state returns free. Tax Act is the best deal in tax. Go to taxact.com. You got this.
All right, back to Craig Carton. So if you don't care about making listeners angry, that's good. That doesn't matter. But, you sometimes badmouth like New York teams.
Right.
Do you ever worry that that's gonna? Because one thing I found in sports is that everybody has to be friends with everybody. It's not a good thing about sports media, but it's how they get access and book guests and stuff.
Yeah, I never bought into that.
Yeah. So what?
Like, I don't do this job to be friends with athletes, or
Yeah.
coaches, or owners. Now, you sometimes become friendly with them just because you hit it off personality-wise, or you're out in a game, or maybe they come on the show. And it's like anything else. Like, if you went into a bar or went to a social setting, there's going to be people you hit it off with that you become friends with because there's some weird connection, and people that you don't. So I don't care. I never go after a guy personally. So I always try to do it where it's in what are they doing for a living? Why is the guy 0 for 30? Or why did the guy fumble? Or why is he doing something that negatively impacts, the team?
Right.
But if I cared about being friends with these guys, you can't do what I do.
Right.
Play-by-play guys could. Because you travel with them, you're paid by the team.
Yeah.
So I think those guys could. I can't do my job if I'm worried about, if I see him at dinner tonight, he's going to be pissed at me.
Yeah.
And I'm friendly, as I'm sure you're, with guys that have been on our show, guys who are close friends now. And if those guys are active players, they know when it comes up, like I'm friends with Matt Harvey.
Yeah.
If Matt Harvey pitches poorly, he's going to hear it.
Yeah. Well, what about like franchise-wise? Like when you say that so you used to be a Mets fan, but now you're a Yankees fan. So
Which
if
is
you
a
bash,
bogus,
we're going
but
to get to that.
we can get
we
to
will
it.
get to that.
Please do.
But when you bash the Mets, do you worry that like Mets brass are going to be like, no one's doing the Boomer and Carton show for however long?
It's funny you say that. The Mets have banned everyone from the radio station because nothing with me and Boomer or anyone else, they decided not to renew the Mets contract. They went to another radio station. Yeah. So unless I have a personal friendship with a Met who's going to come on because we're friends, or they're pushing some kind of product, Mets aren't coming on our show.
That's crazy.
Right, and which is stupid because more people listen to our radio station that are sports fans than any other station by far. So if you wanted to promote your product, wouldn't you come on our station?
Yeah.
And even take me and Boomer out of it because I don't like doing interviews anyway. But you got to promote things. So you promote where most people are, no?
Yeah.
That's what I would do. So
But
it's
so you-
stupid.
but
So do I worry
you-
about it? No, because I've
no.
also made a policy maybe once, and that was only when we were on MSG and they wanted to announce that me and Boomer were being simulcast on MSG Network. Mm-hmm. Have I ever gone to a New York event without that ticket being purchased? So I don't take the free ticket.
Wow.
And it's offered, like I'm sure for you, but you probably take it. I never say
An
yes.
indictment on my personality.
No, I'm saying it's maybe, you don't worry about it. As soon as I take that ticket, I feel, although they'd never call me on it, I don't think they would, you become in a weird way beholden to them.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Like, hey, because let's say I'm criticizing where something comes up. If a team ever said, well, Craig didn't have a problem when we gave him 9 free tickets.
Yeah, that's not a good
no
look.
good.
I've never taken a ticket from like an organization. I take it from my employer. I don't feel bad about that.
You're working for them. So
Yeah.
FS1 gives you tickets to
Sometimes.
whatever. So why wouldn't you accept it?
Yeah.
So you do.
Okay,
right?
good. I feel like I'm an asshole now.
Well, no. If the Mets or Yankees gave you tickets, and then there was an expectation that, well, you'd be kind to them, that's a problem.
I don't think they ever expect me to be kind to them. Let's talk about this fact that you were a lifelong
Go
Mets
ahead.
fan.
I still am.
And
a
then
Mets
you
fan.
jumped on the Yankees.
These are terrible
bandwagon.
rumors you're bringing up.
How do you do that?
I'm still a Met fan.
That's
The
not.
problem with me is that I got so disillusioned by ownership, it became almost easier to root against them because do you ever root against people? Just because they're bad people or whatever, they pissed you off,
Greg
or there's
Hardy.
a story.
Root
Right.
against
Like
Greg
you want
Hardy.
Greg Hardy
To
have a
fail.
horrendous accident on the field where his leg might go out and he can't play. And if he gets paid, fine, but karma.
I don't wish injury upon him.
You wish.
I just wish that he'll have like a really bad game and be bad at football and nobody will pay him anymore. And he'll
Okay.
be all
Well, it
alone.
means to an end. So
Yeah,
either that
yeah.
happens over the course of the next 9 years your
Sure,
way,
yeah.
or someone takes out his knee
Immediately, yeah.
tomorrow if you were playing in the playoffs. So right, there's karma, right?
Yeah.
So I'd gotten very close to the Yankees through charitable causes and their golf tournament, and I came to a point about 7 years ago where I got sick and tired of the Mets always choking in September. So I started a church, and the church was Mets fans for Yankees. So for 1 month, Met fans could just feel a little bit of what it's like to win, because the Yankees won every year, World Series every year. And I started this church. It was like a 30-day church. It was like a trial church. After 30 days, your money back, and you can go back to being a Met fan. Plus, there's football, and the Knicks are starting, so we're all good, right? So that blossomed this past year when my partner then, because the Mets were good, then decided, you're a Yankee fan through and through. We no longer want you here. Solely based on the fact that the Mets were good. So I was put in a pickle. For 5 years in a row,
You put yourself in that pickle.
I became the minister of a very, very successful church. And then all of a sudden, the church fell apart, the Yankees stunk, and look at the Mets going to the World Series.
So then what do? You can't jump back. You are a Yankee fan.
But I buy Mets tickets. That's the rub.
That's not. You can buy tickets to something,
But
not be a fan.
No,
you don't get
that would
to
make it
flip
weird.
back and forth. I know it's tough because
See, I don't agree with that.
I can't imagine growing up in a state where you have to make a choice.
Right, which is
Sports
why New
for
York's
me-
so different.
Yeah, sports for me were never a choice. It was like you are a Red Sox fan, you are a Bruins fan, you are a
Right.
Patriots fan, and a Celtics fan, or else you're not in this family. So it's weird to me that you grow up and it's like, well, there's Mets and the Yankees.
Right, but most families, mine included, there was a line. My dad was a Giant fan, I was a Jet fan, and there was no wavering on that.
How does that happen?
It
You just picked.
You usually find one player that becomes like your guy. Like I loved Wesley Walker.
Yeah.
And it was a way for me to fight with my father.
Which is always good.
Right, it's coming of age story, right?
Yeah.
It's like all of a sudden I'm holding Caulfield, and I'm going to sit there, and my father and I are going to have an argument over football because we can't talk about anything else. And then you can go to City Slickers and know who Vic Wirtz is, who I still don't know who the hell he is, but I know that's a conversation this guy had with Billy Crystal and his father, and they couldn't talk about anything else but sports. So what did I do?
Let him go.
I did
Like
the
he
same
just
thing.
reference after
You like the
reference.
Giants? Good. I like the Jets. Bad choice.
Bad choice.
Yes.
Not a good
One of many
choice.
bad choices at 9 years old.
Yeah.
Katie?
What else? You got others? Got any others?
I ran a casino out of my parents' living room.
Did you?
When I was 11.
It's a real story.
So, Intellivision comes out. It's a gaming system.
Yeah.
All right. There was Pong. There was Atari. Mm-hmm. Then there's Atari like 6400, and then there was Intellivision. Intellivision changed the game. Intellivision had the best graphics at the time. Then ColecoVision came out after that, and then we got to Nintendo and Tecmo Bowl, which was life-changing.
Yeah.
So one of the game that came with Intellivision was a casino game, and it had blackjack, and it had roulette, and I think it had craps on it too, but I've never played craps. So I decided.
Don't understand craps. I've
Neither
tried.
do I.
It's so.
I know
it's
7 and 11.
So confusing.
Doubles seem to be good.
Yeah.
So I decided, why not start a real casino using Intellivision? So neighborhood kids would come to my house, and we would set up Intellivision, and I was the house. It was my house.
Yep.
And they'd bring like 25 cents, $1, whatever, bicycles and stuff. And I was running an illegal casino out of my parents' living room, which was going great until one day there's a knock on the door.
Oh no.
And it's one of this neighborhood kid's father. And I answered her, he goes, "Where's your father?" I go, "He's upstairs. He's not here." "Go get him." My dad comes down and the guy goes, "Where's my kid's bike?" My dad goes, "I don't know who you are, I don't know anything about a bike." Boom, knocks again. "What's going on with my kid's bike?" He goes, "I don't have your kid's bike." He goes, "Yeah, you do. Your son has it. It's in your backyard." So we go to the backyard. The kid's bike's there. He goes, "Why is Johnny's bike there?" I go, "Because he lost it." He goes, "You didn't lose it. It's in your backyard." "No, he lost it to me, playing blackjack."
Did you keep the bike?
No. So the guy takes the bike. I get a beating, and they shut the casino down.
Oh.
But for like a good year and a half, I was running a very successful casino operation out of my parents' living room. And my parents weren't around. I was a latchkey kid growing up. So I come home, no one's there. Who wants to play blackjack?
You were the original Ocean's 11.
Right.
You were 11 years old, running
That's
a
it.
casino.
I was running a casino.
Out of your home.
Yeah.
Wow.
I want a baseball glove. I have 12 of them. I just haven't figured out the whole payment plan to get it back.
I don't know why it struck me that your dad would be the kind of guy who would let you keep the bike. And be like, well, he took it fair and square. So
No, my
get outta
dad
here.
was a very old school. He's still alive. I talk about like he's dead.
Yeah.
That's not cool.
Okay.
He was. He is. He's just an old school. Born in the late 30s.
Yeah.
My way or the highway. I have a belt. It has multiple purposes. I will use it.
Is holding up pants wasn't even one of the
That was
purposes.
the secondary
That
reason.
wasn't even why you
Dad,
had
I
it.
noticed you never wear the belt. No, I've got a favorite one though, Craig. And your ass knows what its name is.
So okay, you're a Mets fan now. I don't understand. I
I'm a
feel like
New
I've
Yorker. I
gotten
know
no
it's such a
clarity.
cop-out.
Don't say it.
I'm not going to say
a New York
it.
sports
No, I'm not.
fan.
I'm not. I am, but no, I don't like the Giants. I don't like the Nets. I don't like hockey. I love the Knicks. They're my favorite team of all. I love, of course, the Jets. And to be fair, the whole baseball thing has become very confusing.
Confusing how?
Confusing in that in 2009, the Yankees are playing the Phillies. I'm not going to root for Philly.
Right.
And I want to have a rooting interest.
Yeah.
So I rooted for the Yankees.
Yeah.
So it's confusing to me because I want the Yankees to do well, and I'm mad at the Mets.
So, like, gun to your head, someone's like, who do you want to win the World Series next, the Yankees or the Mets?
I still want the Mets to win.
So I think that makes you a Mets fan.
Yes.
You want them to win.
With an affinity for the Yankees.
It's weird. I don't
Yeah.
like it. You mentioned you don't like hockey. Why do you give Boomer shit about hockey all the time? Why don't you like hockey?
Because hockey's like auto racing. It's great to be there and watch
No.
it.
What?
It's not good to talk about it. See, I care about the show.
Okay.
Do I respect hockey? Yes. Do I like watching it when I'm there in person? Yes. Is playoff hockey on TV awesome?
best?
Yes. You can give me any two hockey teams in a playoff game, 1-goal game, 10 minutes left. I don't care who's playing. I'll watch it. It's entertaining.
Yeah.
But from a job standpoint, the minute I start talking hockey, I lose listeners. Because there's a finite amount of people in every city that love it. And you're the most diehard people of any sport, and they're all in, but it's bad for my career.
But so, like, if you talked about hockey, don't you think people would be more interested in hockey?
No.
Isn't that kind of your job?
No, it's not.
So you think it's hockey's fault? Because, like, how do you fix the problem then? How does hockey get more
talk
popular?
about hockey.
Yeah, but how does hockey gain popularity?
It never will.
Why?
Because there's not enough scoring, and because they're on ice skates. That's why.
That's why.
Why isn't
Ice
soccer more
skates.
popular? Great sport.
Soccer's pretty popular.
Not in this country, it's not.
Internationally, it is.
Yeah, right.
And people talk about it a lot, and it's
Like
kind
you
of growing.
preempt half your programming here for soccer.
Sure do, and we
Because
are happy about
You're damn
it.
right you are, but soccer in Europe is great. And I love soccer. Love it.
But you
But
wouldn't
if I
talk
start
about it.
talking soccer, I lose.
All right. I guess I'll buy that. I just feel like if people talked about hockey more, people would care about hockey more. I feel like it's sort of...
I think if more people cared about hockey, more people would talk about hockey.
Right, but I
It goes
think
the
they
other way.
both sort of help each other out. Like, someone's got to give. People do
It'll
care
never
about
happen.
hockey.
Yeah, but a finite amount of people.
Yeah.
Until playoff time, then we all jump on the wagon. Hey, let's go Rangers! You know,
Well, maybe you New York people, but in Boston,
Well,
we're
'cause you have
pretty
one team.
diehard. Yeah, you say that like it's it's how it should be. One team.
If Boston could support a second team, big enough city,
But
right?
what? No, it's a tiny city.
There's not enough people in the like Providence,
You can't just put
Connecticut
a team.
area.
Yeah, well, so the Whalers didn't work. But you
Well,
can't just put a team somewhere and be like, if Boston got a second team tomorrow, nobody would be like, oh, I'm done with the Bruins. I'll go do this team because we're
True.
loyal people.
Well, you have
to
nothing
a
else
fault.
going on,
That's not true.
right? That was your favorite movie,
Oh God, the town.
Good Will Hunting.
Yeah, probably.
So I didn't go town.
You have a problem with that?
I actually like Good Will Hunting.
It's a fucking great
One of
movie.
the great movies
like,
of all
it's not
time.
my fault that every movie made in Boston is a great movie. People are like, oh, I bet you like The Town. Yes, it was a great film. So if you Google my name, the first thing that comes up and the thing that everybody always asks me in interviews is like, Ray Rice, Greg Hardy. If you Google your name, you walked across the Brooklyn Bridge in a speedo is like your number one
Yeah.
hit. So obviously I have to ask you about that. What?
I was done. That's the question?
Yeah, what?
That's a new thing? I'm going to add it to my thing.
Tell
Make
me,
a statement
tell
to
me
say
more
what.
about how.
So I noticed on third and all that. What? I was trying to get attention for the show.
Is that?
So you figured
how
that
you
much
do
out.
it?
We had been on the air 4 months. I said that there's no way that Eli Manning and the Giants, they beat Tampa in the playoffs. I said they couldn't beat Dallas and Green Bay. Maybe it's even just Dallas, who knows. And if they did, I'd walk across in a Shockey jersey and blue Speedo to get attention. So it was interesting. Like 300 people came because Boomer incentivized them by giving out 2 Samsung TVs as a raffle for whoever walked the bridge, building a crowd.
Okay.
The very next year, I said if the Jets got to the championship game, I would do it for the Jets, and I'm a Jet fan. So this is where I knew the show had made it. Year 1, again, maybe 300 people are there.
Yeah.
And this is a random Friday morning in January when you have something else to do, right?
Yeah.
It's Friday. You're working, it's cold. The following year,
Many things to do that don't involve walking across
right,
the
with
Brooklyn.
some jackass
Yeah. Yep.
in a Speedo
Yep.
and giant Crocs.
The people didn't have to wear Speedos.
No,
they
just
could
me.
wear. Okay.
People showed up in Speedos, though.
Nice of them.
The following year, we do it for the Jets.
Yeah.
and there were like 10,000 people there.
No fucking
And marching
way.
bands, and it was crazy.
All right, so we end every interview on the podcast with something called the garbage time. They're 10
Do it.
stupid questions that you are gonna probably hate. Ready?
Go.
What was your first AOL screen name?
Same one it is now, so I can't tell you.
Oh, boo.
I still have AOL, which is weak.
Really?
I
weak.
pay $29.95 a month to have it too. Hand
That's
to
not
God.
real.
It is real.
Why do you pay that?
Because you have to.
No, you don't.
Well, how am I gonna? I can't change the name I have without.
Just get a Gmail account.
No,
Why do you
but-
need it? What do you,
'cause you know-
go to chat rooms?
Have you ever changed your phone number?
Yeah.
You know how hard that is to do.
Yeah.
You change email, you lose everybody.
Okay. Ranch or blue cheese?
Blue cheese.
What was the first concert you ever went to?
Michael Jackson.
That's a good first concert.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite superhero?
Superman.
Why?
Because he's got all the powers.
Okay. Do you put ketchup on top of your fries or on the side and then dip your fries into it?
Both.
That's
Plus, I'll put some mayonnaise on them too.
cool. What's your guilty pleasure television show?
Garbage time.
No,
Except
guilty
it's not
pleasure
on
means it's
enough.
bad and you feel bad watching it.
Oh. Garbage time.
I knew you were going to do that. Do you floss before you brush your teeth or after you don't floss?
Thank you.
Yeah. I already know you well enough.
Who's that one for?
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
No.
Thank you. What was the last movie you went to see in the theater?
It was a kid movie.
What was it?
I don't remember.
Well,
I fell
you weren't
asleep.
paying attention? Or?
No.
Okay. Whoa, Bill Belichick shows swollen left eye during Tuesday morning news conference, but says, I think I'll live. Who punched Bill Belichick?
Bill Belichick pretends he doesn't know me. He was my best friend in Cleveland.
Your best friend.
We were best friends in Cleveland. He announced that I was his offensive coordinator for the Cleveland Browns at a press conference and denies knowing me
Why does he deny knowing
because he
you?
became a big douche.
He's not a douche. He's a coach. He's
He's
real
a great
smart.
coach and a Hall of Famer, and I wish he'd coach my team every day of the week and twice on Sunday, but douchey.
All right. I have one more question. You're about to be put to death. What's your final meal? I need an entree, a dessert, and a beverage.
An entree would be pizza. A dessert would
What
be
kind of pizza?
plain pizza.
Cheese
New York
pizza.
cheese pizza. Nothing better.
Sicilian or just like a regular pie?
It's Sicilian only if it's from L&B Spumoni Gardens.
Okay.
If it's not from there, then it's just round pie.
Okay.
Dessert would be mint chocolate chip chipwich.
Okay.
And what was the last one?
Beverage.
A beverage. I would have to go. My beverage. What would my beverage be? I have a sweet tooth, but
Okay.
I could go with that 1942.
Okay.
I have to say that's right there.
That's a good.
Because if you're gonna go, you might as well
Nice.
go.
Yeah, I said, what did I say, Drano? So if I'm going to go, I'm going out on my own terms.
No, Drano's a good
I'm
way
going
to
to kill
go.
myself before
Right.
you guys can kill me. Carton, thank you for being here.
My
I feel weird
pleasure.
I can't call you Craig.
See, that's weird too. Like, it's weird when people call me Carton.
Yeah.
Like in my regular life.
Craig feels weird.
It's strange.
Yeah. Well, so
But
people
no one
call
knows me
you.
by Craig, so people go Carton.
People in this office call you Craigie.
I get Craigie a lot,
That makes you sound like a child.
but
to
it
me.
does.
Yeah.
So Carton's fine.
Mr. Carton.
CC is okay.
CC.
Or not, it's weird. Like we don't know each other that well.
No. What do you want me to call you?
I guess Craig.
Craig.
Yeah.
Well,
Hi, Craig.
Craig.
Nice.
Thanks for being here,
Thanks
Craig.
for having me. Let's shake hands. My pleasure.
This was great.
Thanks again to Craig Carton. That was really fun. And now it's time for junk mail.
You've got junk mail.
Cool. Today's question comes from Jordan Hunink.
Close. That was really, you really knocked that out of the park. Can you say it one more time?
Hunink.
Confident. Confident. Confident.
At JD Hugh. He asks, let's say the Rams, as part of the move, are required to change their mascot. What should they be called?
The Los Angeles Kales.
Ooh, that's strong.
Yeah.
I like that.
What do you got?
I mean, right away I went to LA Stars. I mean, that
Oh, we're
sounds-
taking this seriously.
No,
Okay.
some don't have to be. I just think that kind of makes
Well,
sense.
so LA
Yeah.
Stars, the reason I'm against that,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna, this is a hot take, hot Nolan take. I don't like teams that are named things that are the names of other teams in other leagues.
Feel
So
you.
when I say the Cardinals, I don't want to have to say if I mean Arizona or St. Louis. When I say the Giants, I don't want to say if I mean the New York Giants or the San Francisco Giants. It bothers me that there's enough things and nouns in the world that we really don't need to have this overlap. And I understand we can't go back and change the past, though I've tried.
Yeah.
Bought that DeLorean for nothing. we can change the future.
can.
We can control the future. So stars, there's the Dallas Stars.
Yeah.
So I'm uncomfortable with
Okay,
that.
what about the California Dreams?
That's a good one.
Okay.
Just doesn't sound very intimidating. It sounds like an XFL team.
Dude, they're gonna put you to sleep.
Are they?
Yeah.
Maybe we don't want to infer that. Did you see concussion?
No.
Matt, what do you got?
Well, if it's a team I never want to play against, maybe you call them like the LA Kardashians. You know?
That's good. I want no
They'll
part of that.
Avoid
they'll be penetrated.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'll be an easy one to penetrate.
They'll get
I'll
along with
find the
their
joke if I
teammates,
just
though.
keep
No,
saying
that's
the
good.
word
You
penetrate.
get it. Yeah. Let's slide it right in.
Say they'll get along with their teammates.
Yeah, they get along well with professional athletes.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah. The LA Knights. No. The Los Angeles. Where's
Lakers. Is that good?
Lakers.
No, there's lakes in
That's
Los
good.
Angeles. No, there's not.
What? We should. If you
Inglewood.
want them to be intimidating, just name them the Inglewood anythings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Inglewood always up to no good.
I think that's too long. You didn't say a noun.
I know, but Tupac said it, so I felt like I could say it too.
There it is. The LA Tupacs.
Wow.
Ooh, that's
Wow.
intimidating as shit.
The LA
Shugs.
Tupacs. The LA Shugs. The LA Knights. Wait a second. Oh,
Ooh.
but
Ooh.
that's a team.
Is that a thing?
Is there a Knights? No.
Are you
Oh, I
saying
said it already, but I
K
meant it
Knights?
like N-I-G, and now I mean it like with a K.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The Knights.
I'm
like
into
it.
that. There's no nice.
And they won't have to
Professional team?
say that it's Shug,
No.
but it will know.
And they.
Will know.
Oh, well, no. Perfect.
we'll
I think
know.
I think we nailed it.
I don't think I found a good one,
What
but
about-
I'll
what
tweet
about-
about it later or
Okay.
something.
What about the Hollywood Hills? No. You have like LC can be there.
I'm not going to address what he just said.
LC.
I'm not going to address what he just said.
I like the
Well, guys, if you have
Kardashians,
ideas,
Yeah, if you guys have good ones, you should tweet them at Garbage Time and at Katie Nolan. Use the hashtag New Rams, and then we'll like retweet it, or maybe we'll just read it and then tell our friends as if it was our joke. We'll take it from you, and then we'll get all the credit for it. Yeah, before we go,
I definitely want to know what the latest is in the producer Dave.
oh, you guys kind of almost got his full name there. Yeah, producer Dave's in that Bachelor draft. You had who were your two again?
JoJo,
JoJo
and and Lauren H.
Lauren H.
Yeah. I'm happy to tell you that both JoJo and Lauren H. still in the competition.
Yes.
Still in it, baby.
Still in it.
Still alive.
One of the Laurens last week, LB, who
yeah.
because it's
Pound
the second
Town.
Lauren B.
Pound Town.
She proved to be the only sane person on the show. So Ben is like, LB, will you accept this rose? And she's like, could I talk to you for a minute out there? And they walk outside from the rose ceremony. She's like, yeah, this just isn't for me. And she just bounces.
What?
So here's my question: as a person who doesn't watch The Bachelor, he got her number, right? Because if the person that's there that you like, that's pretty enough, goes, this is all fucking insane. You're like, you're the actual human I would date. I'm gonna go through the rest of this game, but like, it was really nice to meet you. And then they sexed. Like, there's no way Pound Town doesn't come back at the finale and say like, surprise, bitches, he picked me, episode 2.
I think that is such a strong theory.
That's my theory.
I love it.
And I'm
I
sticking.
love it.
And that would suck for whoever in your draft has Pound Town.
Yeah, because they're out. They lost.
Yeah,
they
but
lost her, but they're really
They
gonna
lost
win.
the battle. They'll win the war. They'll win the war. All right, guys, that's it. We'll be back next week. Make sure to subscribe to our podcast on iTunes and rate it and leave a comment. But as usual, only if that comment is positive and only if you're going to rate it 5 stars, because we're doing a great job and maybe you should just appreciate that. Or you can listen on SoundCloud or Stitcher, however you like to listen to podcasts. This is really fun, and I'm having fun doing it, so I hope you guys are having fun listening to it. Thanks again to Craig Carton, to producer Matt.
Thank you, Katie.
And producer Dave.
Thank you.
And producer O'Toole and producer Ashley. And Craig Carton, of course. And to all of you guys for listening. Bye. Love you. Mean it.